670 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Friday morning. Jim George is here from American Cable Services. And, well, we might talk about cable TV. We might talk about other gadgets because he is Professor Gadget. The president has signed an executive order calling for the United States to build the world's fastest computer by the year 2025. It'll be 20 times quicker than the current leading machine, which is in China for some reason. It'll be capable of making 1 quintillion calculations per second. Jim George is here to explain what that even means. Come on, Jim. How you doing?
I think. Will that be pocket size or would that be?
I don't know.
What color you want that in?
You can probably put it in that spare room you have in your Boxers.
Yeah.
In your Boxers, you got a spare room there.
Yeah, I heard
That's
about
right.
the Boxers.
Yeah. How you doing, Jim?
Oh, that lends a whole new. I'm doing fine, thank you.
He's blushing. Professor Gadget is blushing.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! No, there are supercomputers. Even now that an individual can buy. Like for instance, let's take my laptop. I think I paid $420 for it, and it was the latest and greatest. It was an i7. This is going back 2 and 3 years ago, where i7s were very expensive and had all these whistles, and yet one of the guys that worked with us had a computer that he paid $3,600 for, and it looked just like mine as far as the physical size.
Right.
But it had more RAM, more souped up video card, more souped up. So you can get these souped up computers that just run super fast. Now, what do you need it for?
That's the question right there.
I don't, but some people who do a lot of calculations.
That would be, yes, a certain few people.
Yeah,
but I think the average person would just be on Facebook and, hi, Mom, I'm in Detroit.
That's it. But you were speaking, heard on the radio, they were speaking yesterday about, I think it was Clark Howard speaking about a laptop or something called Chromebook. And I'm not really familiar with Chromebook
Robert
all
has
that
a Chromebook.
much.
Yeah, Larry bought me
Robert
one.
has one.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to look into Chromebook this week and see what it was as compared to something like an iPad or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think you actually prefer your Chromebook to your pad, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
They say it's super fast as far as accessing the internet, downloading, and
Yeah, you can do that. It's a really nice, but there are limitations on it too. Not like a regular laptop,
Right.
but I love this for what I do.
stuff stored in the cloud as compared to hard drive.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it is part of the world now. I mean, everything is something changing every day. Yesterday there was a story about. I mean, this is an old story with an update, really, about the drones delivering packages for Amazon, for UPS, et cetera, et cetera.
DHL.
And so now they're trying to establish airspace between 200 and 400 feet
Right.
that would be used for delivering packages.
Exactly.
So.
And they'll get it. They'll the FCC and a bunch of other FAA, they're all interested in moving forward
How
with
far
technology.
and how fast? Do you know? How far and how fast can those drones go?
I think they can go fairly fast. As far as miles per hour, I've never really chased one or anything, but
How far
they can move fairly fast.
Like, for example, if I ordered something and I had it delivered by drone, how far away would that drone come from?
Well, it would have to have GPS coordinates, of course, and then it would have to have a device on board that would let it know, when it reached its arrival. And theoretically, it could have a camera on board, and the person that's sending it, so it could go right to the front door, or back door, or side door. But I imagine it could go as far as you want it to, because as long as it receives a signal either from the satellite or from a cell tower. I mean, as you know, you can drive down the road from here to New York, and you can stay on your cell phone all the way. 1 or 2 spots, right by Gainesville, for instance, where the cell phone drops out.
Yeah.
Well, they have that Amazon warehouse that just opened up in Jacksonville. So, if you ordered something from Amazon, it might come right from Jacksonville then.
Yeah.
It's still
Zip
pretty
it to your
far.
front
It's still
door.
pretty far. I mean,
Yeah, 98 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, or 102 miles, sorry.
Yeah, it's a good hour and a half, 2 hours.
But usually when you pay for shipping, other packages are in the truck. So you're kind of sharing the expenses. I wonder if it's going to be really expensive to have it delivered by those things.
Well, you couldn't probably ship your barbells or something like that.
Well, it'll probably
Too heavy,
be,
yeah.
It'll probably be what they have now. I mean, they have overnight delivery, 2 to 3 day delivery, and for overnight, they'll have two things, by truck or by drone, and then the drone will probably be the higher price because it'll only be one unit.
But you imagine that we think of it now, and there's probably one company, let's say, that has drone, and then next year there's 2 more companies that have drones, and after a while, the whole airspace. I mean, there'll be drones colliding. They'll be all. Oh my goodness!
And what was the story you had about Facebook? The Mark Zuckerberg has this big drone that wants to stay in the ionosphere or something like that.
Yep, stationary. Yep.
It has the wingspan of a 737. It said.
Yep.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it's going to be for internet.
Yes.
For internet.
So what does a satellite? What does a satellite do? Satellite receives signal from the Earth, and then beams it back down to the Earth. So it could receive a signal from China and beam it to an appropriate area, let's say. Also, satellites can talk to each other. So one satellite over China can broadcast to a satellite over New York and then beam it down. So if you think about it, if there were maybe 16 to 24 drones, I'd have to do my math. That would cover the whole world.
My brother lives in Lodi, and for when the internet was finally, getting there, where people were starting to have it in their homes, it took them 3 years to get it up to Lodi because the cable companies, weren't able to run the cable, and the phone companies weren't able to do it. So this drone by Facebook would really, allow people that had that kind of weird access to get a signal.
It would. Yeah, when we did own the cable system in Boone, North Carolina, and we wanted to get internet up there, it took us about 1.5 years to negotiate, and finally everybody, Charter, AT&T, said, if you'll run the fiber down to us, we'll connect, because we're not about to drill through solid rock. To get it up to you.
Right.
And so we became very creative, and we found easements and things like that where we could just barely bury it under the ground, Do
you know what I find fascinating? And this is probably old technology, but when I had my cable recently torn up by some construction near my home, they came, the cable guys came out and put a new cable in for me. They laid it on the ground, put some orange flags everywhere it was.
Right.
And then the next day, the guys came out and buried it, and you can't see where they dug.
Right.
I mean, how do you bury those cables? How deep are they?
They can be very shallow, 2 to 6 to 8, 10 inches deep.
How do you bury it without leaving a ditch?
Well, there's a device called a whomper. And
a whomper?
The handle is really heavy.
Does it take 2 hands?
No, it does take 2 hands.
They sold another block.
Yeah. And then you just lift it up and you lower it down, and when you do the weight of it, we'll cut about a 12 to 14 inch trench, maybe a 1/2 inch wide. So you just throw it in the ground, then you wiggle it back and forth, and then you do it again, and then you lay the wire there and step on it in the ground.
Oh, that's cool. And it's probably something you guys have had for a long time, right?
Long time, old technology.
That's low tech, right? There's no electronics involved in that thing, just the strength of your foot. All right, let's go to the phone. Somebody's on the phone. Everybody got the headphones on? Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Hey, Hugh.
With those drones now, I would imagine that they evolved out of what is called radio-controlled model airplanes, which have been around for many, many, many years.
I would say, yeah.
Yep.
And somebody decided to make like a helicopter type thing out of them, and there you go,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
God only knows what's going to happen in the future if the wrong people get a hold of them, though, because I can see, they got on TV here about a week ago. They had one with the guy had a pistol on it, and he was fired a pistol.
Right.
You've probably seen that.
Right.
And, what say some nut can't put a bomb on one of those things and fly it into a football crowd or baseball or race or whatever.
Yeah,
I know the future doesn't look good to me on that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what everybody's afraid of. If you make it open to the general public, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. They sell them at Christmas time right here in the mall.
Yeah, at Barnes and Noble.
They're cool.
Too. It's like $200.
They're cool, but then again, we've had, like he says, remote control airplanes. He could have done the same thing with one of them.
Right, exactly.
All right, we'll take a little break and be right back with Jim George. The phone lines are open if you didn't already know. The number is 622-9622. Use that technology called a phone and call in. We'll be right back.
is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, we'll see clouds and intervals of sunshine across the region, and there can be a shower and heavy thunderstorm or two around, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Watch for flooding downpours, the high 86 to 90. A shower or thunderstorm later tonight, though 74 to 77. For tomorrow, clouds, some sun, a couple of showers and thunderstorms around in the afternoon, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779. That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's talk to Jim George about technology. That's what he's here for. This is, he is Professor Gadget. Kind of stumbling, aren't I? American Cable Services is the company Jim owns. How many people own that company? Just you? Are you?
Just myself,
by yourself on that? How long have you been around? Not you.
2003 is American Cable.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And how did it start? How did you get into the business?
I've always been in the cable TV business, and I was wanting to do low voltage. That is, cable TV is considered low voltage, but I wanted to do internet wiring, phone wiring, speaker wiring, those. And you need licenses for all this stuff. You just can't do it. So I went to school and got licenses, and then decided, okay, I'll go ahead and form a company. So I formed a company and started doing that type of work. But I do have an unlimited statewide electrical contractor's license, but I don't use the electrical side. I only use the low voltage side.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, I don't have electrical contractors saying, well, you're competing with me. I only do low voltage, and that allows them to give me their low voltage work.
Nice.
So when my cable was cut, was ripped up literally by a tractor in my neighborhood.
You weren't paying attention.
And I found it. I mean, I found the end that connected to my house, and I found the end that was connected to the other end. And so I called to ask them to fix it. And they said, well, and this was a Friday. Was a Friday. They said the earliest we can come is Tuesday,
right? Unless
it's a hazard. And I said, well, I don't see how it's a hazard. But okay, so now I'm settling for Tuesday. So I tell Robin, the story, and she says, well, why don't you call him up and tell him it's a hazard? So I go, okay. So I do. I call him up and I say, you know what? I was looking at it, and I think it's a hazard. okay, we'll be out there Sunday. Isn't that the strangest thing?
Yep.
Now, don't they know whether it's a hazard or not? I mean, it's their electricity. If it's low voltage, it's probably not a hazard. But I just thought, I don't want to wait till Tuesday.
Well,
It's a live wire, too.
Sure. See, being cut is, and if it's under the ground, is not a hazard to anyone. But if it's cut and you pulled both ends up.
But they were both sticking up.
All right. Now it's a hazard because now people can trip over it.
Oh, that kind of hazard.
There's all physical hazard.
Yeah, but the rain might get down on the end that's hooked up to the box.
Yeah, but for
something.
coax cable, there's no problem with that. No.
But anyway, it was interesting how by me, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just declare it's a hazard, and they come out 2 days earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and even that, the response time from a Friday to a Sunday,
good or bad? What do you think?
Well, not really good. They should have. If it was a true hazard, let's assume, for the sake of argument, that the line to your house was aerial and not underground, and a tree limb came and it knocked it loose, and now it's dangling. So it's partially over the road, it's partially in your yard.
Right.
Now that's a true hazard. So every time a car wants to go by, someone on the other end has to lift it up. Or you go to one end and you pull all the slack out and you make a bundle there, and the cars go by. Now the wires become what's called an attractive nuisance. What that means is kids see the wire there and they hang on it and they swing on it, and then they could let go of the wire and fall and they could hurt themselves. So it's an attractive nuisance. That's why towers have fences around them. That's why when you park a crane at night or whatever, there's a fence around it. Because even if you say danger, keep off, if a young fellow does climb it and hurts himself, you're liable because it's an attractive nuisance.
Oh my gosh!
So that should be done instantly. There should be someone out there assessing it, getting it fixed, that type of thing. So whenever you see a wire hanging somewhere, it's always a hazard.
See, I thought a lizard could get electrocuted or something.
No,
that's how I justified it. So I'm calling them and telling them it's a hazard.
Exactly.
All right, if you have a question, the number is 622-9622. Maybe you've got a gadget, you need a little help figuring out how to get it to work. One cool way to fix the Kindle is to simply turn it off.
Oh, yes. Reboot.
It's kind of discouraging, not disgusting, but it's kind of discouraging that the thing doesn't even work sometimes.
Yep.
That is really, you would think technology would say, okay, here's the device, it should work. Because 99% of the time televisions work. So why can't these little gadgets work, right?
Right, but even some, it depends what's feeding the TV. If you have internet feeding the TV, like a smart TV, or if you have a set-top box feeding it, a lot of times it will freeze up, and you got to unplug everything and plug it back in. It's just I had it explained to me years ago by an old technician that said, when the cowboys and Indians, and a cowboy shot the Indians and all the Indians fell to the bottom of the screen, well, you have to go in there and clean all the Indians out, So.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah.
When you go to a cable show and then you bring all of your electronic equipment there and you bring TVs to mount, how do you mount them on the booth itself so the passerbys can see your product?
Yeah, they're usually set behind you so that you have let's say a 10 by 10 booth or a 20 by 10. So you put a table in the back and you put the monitor, the TV, in the back. And then you stand in front of it. So as people come by, hey, have you seen this? And then you have them stop at your booth area, and then you walk 2 or 3 steps back because you realize it's only 10 foot, forward. So you take a couple of steps and you show them your gadget and you explain to them how it works, and they shake your hand, fine, get a business card. They move on. You walk a couple of steps to the front again, and you get somebody else.
Can you suspend that television behind you, or are those?
You'd have to have some kind of a frame, like if you've seen people have birdcage frames, it's like a J-hook that comes up and hook.
Oh.
But no, normally you got to keep everything stable, sitting on something.
Oh, okay.
All right, we have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning.
Morning.
In considering internet, do you have any type service that does not have all the advertisements and the pop-ups that you get with conventional DSL?
Well, keep in mind DSL is a delivery method, same as, Comcast or whatever. The internet itself does not necessarily have advertising on it. It's the site you go to. So like if you own stock in Ford Motor Company and you went to FordMotorCompany.com, let's say, It'd pop up and tell you the new 2015. I mean, it would be populated with information. If you go to the Internet Explorer has pop-ups, all kind of. So what you'd have to find is something like DuckDuckGo or some other internet site to go to that's not yet populated with so many pop-ups or advertising. But they all will be. That's why they give it to you free. That's why Internet Explorer is free, because it's advertising supported.
Okay.
All right. Yes. All right. Thank you.
And what is DuckDuckGo? What is that?
It's one of those type of internet. You're looking for something, like you're looking for the best 2003 car because you want to buy a 2003. And you want to go to Consumer Reports, but you don't know what consumer. You just you type in an information. It's like Ask Me. Like Ask Jives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just.
Okay.
So the big news this week in the internet was Windows 10. That's supposed to be the big new thing, and it's the best thing ever. And
I've been hearing it. Have
you seen it at all?
Well, I haven't seen it, but one of the IT guys in our office said that he loaded it yesterday morning, and he spent all afternoon trying to clean it up because he
didn't like it.
Well, he doesn't know if he likes it or not. Right now, not everything. In other words, you still have to bring your folders over to it. In other words, it's the operating system.
Right.
Now, what are you going to put on the operating system? So he had to bring over his, let's say, his Microsoft Office suite,
right,
which is Excel and Word, and he didn't clarify to me how much time he spent on it, but it seemed like he was spending most of the day on it.
Oh, really?
And he still wasn't done with it.
So, Robert, on your laptop, are you getting messages to upgrade to Windows 10?
No.
No?
I am.
I'm not getting
You are? What do you have right now? Do you know? What operating system do you have? Do you know?
I don't know. I just know it's a Chromebook, and I turn it on and it works. That's all
that matters.
Knowledge.
Well, that's the way I am too.
I don't know what the operating system is.
Well, I didn't load 8 on purpose because I heard everybody had problems with 8, and he had loaded 8. He said he believes 10 is going to be a better.
Oh, and in the Mac world, by the way, Yosemite is supposed to be better than Maverick. And I had Yosemite on mine, and it ruined it. It was so hard. Nothing worked right.
Right.
I brought it to Best Buy, and those guys said, "Oh, you loaded Yosemite, didn't you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, well, they recommended it." Yeah, that's what happens. And they actually took off Yosemite and put back Maverick.
Yes.
It's like, wow, does Apple not know that they made a product that nobody really wants?
Oh, they know. They know, but they're like everything. They have stockholders and they have to produce. So, is it ready yet? No. Well, send it out anyway. We'll fix it as we go.
Well, I didn't pay anything for it. It was just.
Oh no, but they're again advertising.
They make money somehow.
Stockholders. Oh yes.
I think Chromebook must be the operating system because I don't see Windows anywhere.
No, it's not a Windows.
When I open it up,
it's a Google.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Google and.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It says
really?
Google
Okay.
Chromebook, so that must be.
So that is the
operating system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't see Windows at all.
There's a bunch to know in this world, and you can't know it all. And I'm so glad I don't know it all. I don't want to be called a know-it-all.
But the thing is, it's just like the supercomputer that the president wants to be built.
Yep.
It's okay. When it gets here, I guess we'll see what we can do with it, or this computer that's so fast in China that they're talking about. To me, what am I actually going to use it for? Mark Zuckerberg was talking about this virtual reality Facebook of the future. But in order to use it, you have to put on this face mask, basically. Mm-hmm. And to say, can you imagine this is going to be the kids of the future? Instead of having their face buried in their phones, their face is going to be buried in this wraparound goggle-looking thing.
Yep. I know. That's like Google Glass. They have the glasses, and it projects right into your eye, or it projects into the lens, and then you're like, oh.
Are we being pessimistic about it because we're old? Do you think?
No, with every achievement or every new thing, there's always a pros and cons to everything. It's like take marriage,
That's right.
Yeah.
There's always a pro and con.
I think Doug's trying to ask a question, but we got like 40 seconds. Doug, do you have a question?
I have Windows 7, and I know my laptop is very old, but I just it's running very slow. I just wanted to know how to do it faster.
We'll have to run a cleanup routine on your computer that will clean up all those dead Indians on the bottom.
Okay.
That's what it does.
Funny answer.
Yep.
Thank you, Jim. What's your phone number?
854-9795.
Jim George, Professor Gadget. Thank you, Jim. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The Minnesota dentist who killed Zimbabwe's Cecil the Lion, now himself the target of a search. Zimbabwe's government is looking to extradite him to face charges.
Speaking to reporters in Zimbabwe, Environment Minister Opa Muchinguri referred to Palmer as a foreign poacher. Muchinguri added she wants him held accountable for his illegal action.
Fox Radio's Paul Tilsley in Johannesburg, South Africa.
In the U.S., the White House is reported to be reviewing a petition signed by over 100,000 people, also demanding that Palmer should stand trial in Zimbabwe. Palmer is thought to be hiding in the U.S. after death threats.
The WikiLeaks website out with documents it says shows our government spied on Japanese officials and companies, and New Jersey police say they've arrested one of two men who made off with a bag of $150,000 in cash accidentally left behind by ATM employees. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a home inspector who needs friends. Yeah, so these studs need to be 1/4 inch further apart, give or take half an inch. It's gotta be just right, you know, like the coverage Progressive provides for your construction business. Otherwise, I'll have to shut you guys down. But if I do, maybe you could come out for Tuesday trivia. Fair warning, I'm kind of a know-it-all. You'll see what I mean at board game night. Hey, what's your number?
Commercial insurance that's perfect for your small business. Visit ProgressiveCommercial.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
How to tell if you need a free Napa racing hat. Look in the mirror. If there's not one on your head, you need one. Spend $25 and you'll get a free Napa racing hat. We'll even donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund for every hat given away. Besides, you've got the perfect place to keep that free hat. Your head. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 7/31/15.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services. When your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements, from damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire. Because that's how exotic it is.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The Cliffhangers Gun Show will be in Ocala this weekend, August 1st, 9 to 4, and August 2nd, 9 to 3 at Motel 6 in Ocala.